All right, Donald Trump has in fact raised the global tariffs from 10 to 15%. 15% global tariffs effective immediately is what Donald Trump has said. Remember, this comes after the Supreme Court's decision, which in fact said that Donald Trump does not have the authority for these kind of unilateral tariffs. It was the Congress in the United States which should do that. Trump has called that decision ridiculous. Now, another tariff twist as far as Donald Trump is concerned. Let me very quickly go across to my colleague Aditya Rajkol, who's joining us with more details. As expected, Aditya, you can't second guess with Donald Trump whether it's the Supreme Court or anything. He will still put a bunny out of the hat.
Well, that's right. You can't predict him. He's unpredictable, and that's what he has done. Yesterday, people thought that the tariffs are over. It's a big setback to the Trump administration, but bang, he comes in, does a 45-minute press conference and says that he is going to go ahead with the Trump policy. If not through the emergency process, then there are other mechanisms in the US law that he will explore. So he signed the executive order under 122 and put a 10% tariff. But now, within the next 24 hours, there's a huge twist that has happened. He has increased the 10% tariff to 12%. In his social media post on Truth Social, Donald Trump, the US president, says that the judgment was poorly written. He says it was completely ridiculous and anti-American. Not just this, as of now, the tariff is 15%, but he says over the next few weeks and months, the Trump administration will put up legally permissible tariffs. So does that mean that the 15% tariffs will increase further and will go to the original 18% when it comes to India and the respective tariffs that are there for the other countries? It's a kind of a showdown that is between Supreme Court and the Trump administration. He's certainly not going to take it or, put it lying low. He's going to explore everything possible in the book, in the Constitution of America and the law. He has quoted sections 301 as well as 232, that are the national security sections, etc., that he will explore. So it's likely that the tariff policy is going to continue unless the Supreme Court again passes a ruling or there are more petitions that are filed. That's also likely to happen, Ankit.
Yeah, but Aditya, as we've been discussing, even whatever happens, that may not be the end. We still have 3 years of Donald Trump. So this back and forth is still keeping the world on the edge. You never know what he's going to do tomorrow.
Well, certainly there's been an economic upheaval all across the globe, Ankit, as you rightly pointed out. He's very unpredictable. Countries have been very patient and monitoring him regularly, especially India. Others may react or, pass judgments, etc. But India is at a very critical negotiation of the trade deal that has been announced in the form of an interim agreement. And now Darpan Jain will be going there tomorrow, and thereafter there will be perhaps the last stage of the conversation and negotiation, and by mid-March we could see India and US trade deal being sealed. But will India get some advantage through this Supreme Court ruling? I doubt that. Trump administration will continue to stand their ground on their position when it comes to India-US trade deal. They will bargain hard, as will India. He praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi yesterday as well, said he's a tough negotiator. There is no comparison between Trump and Modi, but that's what Trump is all about. He's about a lot of statements, being frank in front of the press, and he is not politically correct. He just wants to say it as it is, and he is sometimes rude. He did not spare the Supreme Court also this time around. Yes. So this is just the beginning. Perhaps there are more political and other upheavals that are in store, not just domestically in US, but all across the globe.
Before I let you go, let me ask you one more question on this, because the announcement was made as far as the India-US trade deal is concerned. The Commerce Minister came out and spoke about the 18% tariff, and that was hailed as India's ability to bring it down from what Donald Trump had actually earlier put from 25 to 18%. Let me ask you this, Aditya. In the view of what happened in United States, can India push back for the tariffs to go low, or the trade deal is set and done, 18% is what we are looking at?
Until the negotiations are over, nothing is off the table. Let me put it this way. But secondly, if we understand that the Supreme Court verdict will impact the trade negotiations in any way, I doubt that. As I said, the Trump administration will stand their ground. What will certainly happen is that domestically here in India, the Congress party, the opposition, will certainly attack the Modi government and say that why did you go an extra mile to perhaps please Trump? And that's what has happened. We've seen the former finance minister Chidambaram attack the Modi government and say that what happens to what you have already bargained and given concessions on. in the fact sheet and the joint statement that came in. Will there be changes? We'll know by March, mid-March, when the negotiations are over, and perhaps there will be signing of agreement. Will Trump travel to India or Prime Minister Modi go to DC? We'll know perhaps in the next few weeks. But I don't see a major impact when it comes to India-US trade deal. The Commerce Ministry did issue a statement that they are studying the verdict, but I don't see India reacting or trying to see any major changes when it comes to the India-US trade deal.
Aditya Rajkol, thank you so much for joining us with all those details on this very important story, which is coming in at this moment. In fact, Donald Trump going ahead from 10%, which was announced earlier, increasing it to about 15%, going after the Supreme Court of United States of America as well, and says that will issue new legally permissible tariffs. So he's not backing down, despite the Supreme Court in the United States calling the tariffs which have been put by the Trump administration, saying that the president does not enjoy that kind of power. The Congress is back in the United States has the power to impose tariffs, to decide on how much tariffs should be put. Donald Trump initially from 10% now says it will be 15% while he explores legally permissible ways to increase the tariffs. All right, let me also at this moment play out the reaction of President Donald Trump on the reaction that he gave after the Supreme Court ruling.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country. I'd like to thank and congratulate Justices Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh for their strength and wisdom and love of our country, which is right now very proud of those justices. When you read the dissenting opinions, there's no way that anyone can argue against them. There's no way. Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing for long. That I can assure you.
Donald Trump absolutely unhinged. In fact, just speaking about the dissenting judges, remember this was a ruling of majority as far as the Supreme Court of United States is concerned, which asserted that Donald Trump, the President of the United States, does not have the executive powers to levy the kind of tariffs that he has been unilaterally throwing at the countries across the globe. It also said that only the Congress in the United States of America has the power to decide the tariffs and how much should they be when it comes to the trade between various countries in the United States. Initially, it was said that 10% tariffs now will be, till the time anything else is decided, will be levied across, whether it's India, Britain or United or European Union. But now, in the latest Trump tariff twist or Trump tariff tantrum, if I may call it, Donald Trump has upped the tariffs to 15%. Let's bring you a quick highlight of the dramatic protest and counter-protest clashes over Youth Congress shirtless protests at the Bharat Mandapam. In fact, a massive counter-protest by the BJP Yuva Morcha in various cities across the country, starting with Guwahati. These pictures show you the effigies of Congress leaders being burnt by the protesters in Guwahati. And it was the situation which went out of hands in Indore, where the BJP or the BJP Yuva Morcha protesters were protesting, and then soon it turned into stone pelting between the Youth Congress and the BJP workers. Meanwhile, the police had to resort to water cannon and lathi charge to try and control the situation. Hyderabad also saw the BJP Yuva Morcha coming out to protest against the Congress party, calling what the Indian Youth Congress protest in the Bharat Mandapam as anti-India. Meanwhile, BJP-ruled Jaipur also saw protests and slogans being raised against the Congress party by the Bharatiya Yuva Morcha, those who demanded action against the IYC members, those who protested at the AI summit. In BJP-ruled Mumbai as well, there were protests by the BJP Yuva Morcha. These visuals of dramatic protest on your screens at this moment. The BJP upped the ante against the Congress party, accusing them of trying to hurt India's image. Union IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav inspected the site where the members of the Indian Youth Congress staged a protest at the Bharat Mandapam, and he called their conduct shameful. Meanwhile, Congress party defended and doubled down on their yesterday's protest, with the Indian Youth Congress sharing a poster featuring Mahatma Gandhi capturing shirtless Congresi.
विश्व के बहुत प्रमुख देशों का हेड ऑफ द स्टेट, हेड ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट और कई जाने माने हस्तियां भारत का तारीफ करके एकजुट बहुत अच्छा काम चल रहा था। उस समय कांग्रेस के यूथ कांग्रेस वर्कर्स के कुछ लोगों ने वहां आकर के नंगा नाच किया और सबने तस्वीरें देखी, और रात भर इसका जो प्रतिक्रिया आए हैं देश भर से, जितना भी इसका निंदा किया जाए बहुत कम है। ये एक गलती नहीं है, ये एक अपराध है। देश के खिलाफ बहुत बड़ा अपराध काम किया है कांग्रेस वालों ने।
भाई, मोदी और ट्रंप की दोस्ती ने देश का तो सत्यानाश करने की तैयारी कर ही ली है। नौजवान परेशान है बेचारा, लोग उत्साह के अंदर चले गए होंगे। इसके अलावा क्या हो सकता है? तुमने अपमान नहीं करा, दूसरे का माल ला करके अपना बता रहे हो और पूरी दुनिया में अपना मजाक बनवा रहे हो। ये सम्मान कराया तुमने। भाजपा डर गई है कि देश समझ गया कि तुमने देश बेच दिया, देश की समझ में आ गया तुमने देश बेच दिया, इसीलिए इधर उधर के नैरेटिव तैयार करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
Moving on now, the NCP Sharad Pawar party's MLA and Ajit Pawar's nephew Rohit Pawar has written to Prime Minister Narendra Modi seeking comprehensive and transparent investigation into January 28 plane crash that killed Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra Ajit Pawar and demanded the resignation of Union Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu. He alleged that the private jet operator involved in the Baramati plane crash has links to very influential political and business figures. He urged Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah to ensure justice is done in this case. Rohit Pawar further said there could be two possible angles behind the incident, political or commercial, and that his party was trying to determine which was involved. Earlier, Ajit Pawar's son, Jay Pawar, has also raised questions over his father's death and has urged for fair probe in the matter.
Mr. Pawar, you're talking about a political conspiracy. You're also talking about a corporate conspiracy. What is it exactly?
See, what we feel is there is a conspiracy. Whether it is a corporate conspiracy or political conspiracy, we can't say that. Initially, it was just termed as if it was just an accident, but it's not only an accident. And plus, political conspiracy could be there. But if you look at the kind of investigation which is happening and the VSR, the kind of link which it has with a lot of political parties and powerful people, and now the investigation agency comes under the aviation minister, who is from TDP, and TDP has got TDP leaders have got financial relationship with VSR. So now to save VSR, a lot of power is being used from different angles. So now to save VSR, so that means the company which is responsible for the accident, there is a good power and people in power who are supporting VSR indirectly. So that is also a conspiracy in itself. That's the reason why today we requested the aviation minister who is from TDP should give his resignation. He should be not at that particular post. Reason is DGCA comes under him, and plus the investigation should happen properly. That's why I requested Mr. Modi ji and Amit Shah ji, because lot of powerful leaders from different states are involved. So now we have to look up to the most powerful people in this country are the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, and plus the leader of opposition, who's Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji.
Mr. Pawar, your repeated press conferences have made it clear that you don't want a merger now. Is this also a message by you to show the NDA that you're very powerful at the state level, at this national level?
As far as I am concerned, I am not doing any politics here. If I had to do politics, I would have taken this investigation on this particular issue in a very different way. Here, my request is, like for example, why would I tell Modi ji, please look into it? Because I am from a different party. I just want a political investigation plus transparent investigation in this matter, because I have lost my uncle, a big leader, and all the people in Maharashtra wants a transparent investigation. That's it. And see, there would be some people who may not have that much of intellectual status or intellectual level to understand what emotions are and what politics is.
My last question, the choice of your venue is very interesting. Are you also trying to send out a political message that you have implicit and explicit support of the entire family in this?
See, family is with me for this matter, because they also are a little disturbed with the accident which happened with Ajit Dada, and plus looking at the information which I am bringing out, they are also concerned that there could definitely be some conspiracy. So family is definitely with us, and plus the whole of Maharashtra is with us, or rather whole of Maharashtra in their own way are trying to find out what exactly happened.
India rolled out the red carpet for Brazilian President Lula da Silva. In fact, India-Brazil sealed major MOUs in bilateral meeting. Key MOUs cover areas including digital transformation, renewable energy, space collaboration, cultural exchanges, and enhanced people-to-people ties. This comes amid growing strategic convergence between the two largest democracies in the global south. Prime Minister Modi hailed the bilateral ties between both the nations and said India-Brazil aim to take bilateral trade beyond $20 billion in the next 5 years. Meanwhile, President Lula praised India's rapid growth and leadership in the global south. Brazilian President held bilateral talks with Prime Minister Modi at Hyderabad House. President Lula also met External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar.
आज हमारी जो चर्चाएं हुई हैं उनमें हमने हर क्षेत्र में शेयर्ड पर्पस और शेयर्ड एस्पिरेशन से आगे बढ़ने पर विचार विमर्श किया है। ब्राजील लैटिन अमेरिका में भारत का सबसे बड़ा ट्रेड पार्टनर है। हम आने वाले 5 वर्षों में द्विपक्षीय व्यापार को $20 बिलियन के भी आगे ले जाने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है। हमारा व्यापार केवल आंकड़ा नहीं, विश्वास का प्रतिबिंब है। राष्ट्रपति जी के साथ आया बड़ा बिजनेस डेलीगेशन इसी विश्वास को दिखाता है।
We are both mega diverse countries and hubs of of the cultural industry, and we both defend multilateralism and peace. The invitation by Prime Minister Modi for this state visit and also to attend the AI Impact Summit shows the synchrony and mutual trust that binds us together.
From Gujarat's dairy heartland comes a powerful story of how artificial intelligence is transforming rural India. At the AI Summit in Delhi, tech visionary Nandan Nilekani highlighted a groundbreaking innovation to Prime Minister Modi, an AI-powered app called Amul AI Sarlaben. Launched by dairy giant Amul, the app is empowering livestock farmers with real-time AI-driven assistance, bringing cutting-edge technology straight into India's villages. Here's a report by NDTV.
In Munchkuwa village of Gujarat's Anand district, dairy farmers are no longer relying solely on memory or handwritten notes to manage their cattle. Instead, they are turning to artificial intelligence. The newly launched Amul AI Sarla Ben app functions like a digital diary assistant in the farmer's pocket. From vaccination schedules to treatment history, livestock count to milk production data, every crucial detail is now stored securely on a mobile phone. The app was envisioned by Prime Minister Modi, communicated to Nandan Nilekani in January and rolled out in February.
When I met Prime Minister Modi ji on 8th January and talked about applying AI to farmers, he said, why can't we apply it to cows and cattle? Because if the cow is sick, it can't tell you that it is sick. How can you solve this problem? And he gave us his vision of applying AI to agriculture and dairy. The same day, the PMO had a meeting along with Mr. Krishnan and Abhishek of METI with Amul and with some of my colleagues. And within 3 weeks, the application went live. The meeting was on Jan 8th. It went live on February 11th. This is the world's largest cooperative with 3.6 million farmers, 2 billion milk transactions per year, and 40 million cattle.
Here's how the app works. If a cow or a buffalo falls ill, farmers can instantly access AI-powered guidance on symptoms, medicines, feed management and preventive care. The app acts like a digital diary, ensuring no vaccination is missed, no treatment delayed and no record lost.
जो भी पशुपालक को कोई मुसीबत है तो हम सरला बहन से पूछ सकते हैं, ये हम पढ़ भी सकते हैं और सुन भी सकते हैं.
At the AI Summit in Delhi, Nandan Nilekani cited the Sarla Ben app as a shining example of how AI can solve grassroots challenges.
All these farmers, a large number of them being women, use the Sarla Ben application, actually get real responses about their cattle, the problems, their pregnancy, their milk production and so on.
The message is clear. AI in India is not just about global tech dominance, it's about empowering farmers, boosting rural incomes and strengthening cooperative models. NDTV Bureau Report.